Rangers' difficult run of league form has prompted the club to revisit options they previously set aside during the summer window. With pressure increasing in key areas of the squad still lacking the depth and balance needed, discussions have reopened around a target who came close to joining earlier in the year. The move fell through at the time, but the situation has shifted enough for Rangers to reassess whether that door should remain closed. What happens next will depend on both the club's immediate needs and the changing circumstances surrounding the player, but the interest has quietly resurfaced at a moment when the squad's shortcomings are becoming harder to ignore. Let's break this down in today's video, along with all the other Rangers news from the last 24 hours. There is so much to discuss in today's video, so be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel for daily Rangers content. Rangers have now settled on their stance regarding a renewed move for Real Betis left-back Nobel Mendy, months after the club came close to securing his signature. The 21-year-old was widely expected to join the Ibrox side in the summer, only for the deal to collapse late in the window. Instead, Mendy headed to Spain, joining Rayo Vallecano on loan, where he has quickly impressed with a series of composed and athletic performances in La Liga. Those displays inevitably reignited speculation over whether Rangers would revisit their interest, particularly with Danny Röhl eager to mould the squad more closely to his preferred style of play. But despite Mendy remaining a long-term target, the club are not preparing to return with an offer in January. As one source close to the situation explained, "I would say it's unlikely probably right now." The club's position is shaped heavily by their business in the summer when they brought in Derek Cornelius on loan from Marseille. The Canadian international, who is comfortable on the left side of defence, was signed with an option to buy, a move that significantly reduced the urgency to explore another left-sided centre-back. Reflecting on that decision, the source added, "They did look at him in the summer before the move fell down, and obviously Rangers then went and brought in Derek Cornelius, so I think they've probably moved on from Mendy right now." While Mendy is capable of filling in at full back, his natural profile leans more towards the centre of defence, an area where Rangers feel relatively well stocked. The same source noted he's probably more of a centre back than a left back. But like you said, left back I think is an area of the team that Danny Röhl would like to strengthen in. That need at left back remains firmly on the club's agenda heading into the January window, alongside additions at striker and central midfield. Röhl has been clear since arriving that several areas within the squad require upgrades if Rangers are to maintain the standards he demands. His strong start since replacing Russell Martin has only reinforced the belief that the right additions could elevate the team further. However, budget constraints threaten to complicate those ambitions. Rangers' heavy spending in the summer, reported to be in the region of £26 million, has placed a limit on how aggressive they can be in the upcoming window. The financial challenges that have lingered in recent seasons continue to shape recruitment strategy, forcing the club to prioritise carefully and avoid stretching themselves for non-essential targets. That does not entirely close the door on Mendy. Rangers may revisit their interest once the season ends, when Betis will make a decision on his long-term future, and when the financial landscape at Ibrox is clearer. As the source summarised, Betis might look at options in the summer and what they want to do with Mendy as well, and then perhaps Rangers could look at it. For now though, a January move is off the table. Not because of a lack of admiration for the player, but because the club's priorities lie elsewhere, and their resources demand caution rather than opportunity-driven spending. In other news, Rangers have made their stance abundantly clear ahead of the January transfer window. Nicolas Raskin is not for sale unless a huge bid lands on the table. Despite months of speculation surrounding the midfielder's future, including suggestions he had grown unsettled earlier in the season, the Ibrox hierarchy are determined to keep hold of one of their most valuable assets. The uncertainty began when Raskin clashed with Russell Martin during the early stages of the campaign, a disagreement that quickly placed several interested clubs on alert Premier League sides, and a handful of top European outfits have continued to monitor the Belgium international closely, with some believing he could be tempted into a fresh challenge. One source described the situation by saying, "There was interest in Raskin in the summer window from a number of clubs in the Premier League and across Europe as well. At one stage, an exit appeared almost inevitable. Raskin had fallen out of favour, was left out of key matches, and murmurs emerged that he might push for a January departure." But his resurgence under Danny Roll has shifted the picture dramatically after forcing his way back into the starting 11 and delivering a series of strong performances. Talk of a mid-season move has cooled. The club are now intent on blocking any approach by attaching a considerable price tag to the midfielder. As one insider put it, "I don't think Rangers ideally would want to lose him midway through the season. It would have to be a big fee for Rangers to even consider selling him." That stance appears to have made an impact. At present, those tracking the 23-year-old are understood to be unwilling to meet the level of investment Rangers would demand. With Raskin sitting on 18 months left of his current deal, Rangers still face a strategic decision further down the line. A lucrative summer sale has not been dismissed, especially if negotiations over a new contract fail to materialize. For now though, the message from Ibrox is firm. January is not the time. I'm not sure the clubs that are interested in Raskin would be willing to fork out that money in January for the midfielder, a source said, hinting that a longer-term approach from suitors could be more realistic. The player's own position has also softened. Having regained his place under Roll, Raskin is understood to be more settled and content to stay for the second half of the season. Spurs and Leeds United are among the clubs continuing to keep tabs on his status, but any formal move appears unlikely unless circumstances change significantly. Some within the Scottish game have already warned Rangers to tread carefully. Ally McCoist was among those critical of how Raskin was handled earlier in the campaign, insisting that poor management might drive the midfielder towards the exit door. The dynamic now looks healthier, but the story is far from over. Rangers were preparing for bids late in the summer window, even though none ultimately arrived, with interest still bubbling away and the midfielder's contract slowly running down. The club know that transfer pressure will return. For now though, the stance remains unwavering. Only an extraordinary offer will test their resolve in January. But that is all for today's video. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. We post all the latest Rangers news every single day, so join our fast growing community so you never miss out. Thank you. I'll see you in the next video.